Hello again and welcome to another annual recap of Zoo Tours. I just wanted to start off by saying Happy Zoo Year. And as I always say on these things, thank you for making this channel grow even bigger than last year. Over 7,000 users signed up to join our tour group in 2021. And we went through some very special places, featuring creatures some only dream of seeing once or twice. This group ventured 24 different exhibits from 21 different zoos, including the debut of Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies, SeaWorld Orlando, Zoo Atlanta, and the Minnesota Zoo. But of those 24, there are 10 that I highly recommend you go and watch if you haven't already. By the way, redos are not included. Number 10, Sharks, Predators of the Deep. Sharks opened as part of a $100 million expansion that followed and continued the Georgia Aquarium's larger-than-life legacy. This is a single path that circles a single shark tank. Okay, we've been there before. Except, this puts you into almost complete darkness. Your only lights come from the most well-thought-out and technologically advanced graphics I have ever seen. And those surround you and a 1.2 million gallon tank that brings you jaw to jaw with sand tigers, one of the country's few hammerheads, the nation's only silver tips, and the only displayed tiger shark in the inland United States. Number 9, Monkey Trails and Forest Tales. If it's a San Diego video, expect it on this kind of list. Episode 88 not only kicked off the new zoo year, but it was the first of 5 tours into the zoo's compiled Lost Forest. The latest addition to that forest takes you up into the canopy for an eye-level meeting with several kinds of mischievous monkeys found in many of the world's different rainforests. Then you're dropped to the forest floor for a similar close-up experience with pygmy hippos, a bunch of babirussas, dwarf crocodile hatchlings, and many more. Number 8, the Bamboo Trail at the Nashville Zoo. There's nothing spectacular about the exhibits, but the animals definitely do speak for themselves. This episode gave the first proper introduction of the Baird's tapir. We got to go in the air with rare spider monkeys. A male babirussa showed off their moves. We learned why hornbills trap their girlfriends in trees. And the best part was we got a full in-depth look at Nashville's caracal and clotted leopard breeding programs. Number 7, African Journey at the Maryland Zoo. Wait, no. The African Journey at the Fort Wayne Children's Zoo. I'm not gonna lie, I find most African-themed sections kinda boring, but not this one. It isn't just a giant hoofstock yard surrounded by a few little exhibits. It's a giant hoofstock yard surrounded by a bunch of exhibits, big and small and full of surprises. You'll learn of an antelope that's much better suited in the water than on land. There's a row dedicated to carnivores like lions, hyenas, foxes, servals, and mongooses, along with leopards, several kinds of monkeys, one of the best places to feed a giraffe, a stork that likes to poop on their feet, and a multi-acre African savanna full of hoofed creatures that work together to survive. Number 6, the Teton Trek at the Memphis Zoo. People often describe zoo exhibits as immersive, and if you want to see what that truly means, then go to the furthest corner of the Memphis Zoo. This 4-acre realm brings the best of America's Grand Teton and Yellowstone National Parks right to you. Fountains are geysers. This giant waterfall represents the real-life Firehole Falls, and you're invited to walk around the Great Lodge, an event center that's actually inspired by Wyoming's Old Faithful Inn. But of course it's not Yellowstone without the elk, timber wolves, and comfortably close encounters with black and grizzly bears. Number 5, the Toledo Zoo's Museum of Science. Museum and science. Those words don't generally turn heads, especially for the average zoo visitor. Well, that's what I used to think. I can't even describe this. It's just one of those things that you gotta see for yourself. It's a galleria of the Ice Age. It's an aquarium, insect house, and herpetarium all at the same time. You can get as close as you want to poison dart frogs. You can pet a sturgeon fish. Go right up to 2 kinds of snakes that prefer to swim. Learn why the Komodo dragon is actually venomous. Learn how that venom actually affects the human body, and you're tested to put your fears aside for some of the world's most incredible invertebrates, including a 10-pound giant coconut crab. If you need any more convincing to go and watch this, the view count speaks for itself. Number 4. North America at the Columbus Zoo. The oldest section in the zoo is still going strong after nearly 40 years. There's a lot of places that like to play it safe or keep it small and simple when it comes to exhibiting local wildlife. Not here, not even close. This trail is full of Mexican wolves, burrowing prairie dogs, a massive moose, the most amusing otters I've ever seen, a trio of rescued puma cubs, what might as well be the world's most agile wolverine. And it caps off with a tiny herd of really, really big American bison. Number 3. Florida at Zoo Tampa at Lowry Park. Speaking of exhibits that feature local wildlife, Zoo Tampa takes this to the next level. I mean, it's not really fair in comparison. Florida is one of America's most biodiverse states, and there's not many attractions out there where you'd find red wolves, eagles, otters, an iguana that immigrated from Cuba on its own, manatees that were given a second chance at life, gators of the swamp, a litter of baby skunks, Florida black bears, and what some consider one of the world's rarest cats, all together in one area. Number 2. The Henry Dorley Zoo's Lead Jungle. One of the most monumental, inspiring, jaw-dropping zoological projects the world has ever seen. You could probably say the same thing for just about everything at Henry Dorley. The Lead Jungle, and yes, it's pronounced that way, I promise, opened in 1992. It's an 1.5 acre, all-indoor tropical paradise, which still makes it the largest of its kind in the country. This episode explores the world of swinging gibbons, not one but 2 kinds of otters, free-flying fruit bats, baby langurs, swimming Malayan tapirs, and some of the best views in a zoo imaginable. But the best part is, we've only explored half of it, as I'm still waiting for the forest floor to open. And at number 1, the Oceanarium at the Shed Aquarium. This is the place to be if you're looking to connect with wildlife, with its cliffs, trees, and waves that blend with the horizon of Lake Michigan. The designers did everything they could to bring a slice of the Pacific Northwest to Chicago. Not only is it an award-winning feature, but it opened and remains the world's largest indoor marine mammal facility. This special episode takes you right up to the aquarium's sea lions, beluga whales, including one of their little gray calves, penguins of South America, sea otters, viewable from 2 stories, and one of North America's few pods of Pacific white-sided dolphins. Usually right now, I would go on about the channel's future, but I'm gonna do things a little different. For the very first time, I will be revealing my entire planned schedule for 2022. But in order to do that, you have to click on that link in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your favorite tour of 2021 was, and as always, thank you for watching.